A lot has changed in downtown Lincoln since 1953, but one thing that has remained the same is the barber shop at 13th and P Streets. There have only been 9 barbers who've worked there over the past 65 years. And tonight, we meet the most recent pair of barbers in Lance's Journal. Hi, Lance.
Hey, Bridget. You know, in Lincoln, there aren't many businesses that have lasted for 6 decades. But tonight, we're going to talk about one of them. The Captain's Chair is located on the first floor of the historic Stuart building in a small area that is located under the balcony of the Rococo Theatre. It's pretty cool to think that what could have been an old storage room in the Stuart Theatre has become a long-lasting Lincoln landmark.
Thank you.
It's easy to feel as though you've stepped back in time when you enter the Captain's Chair.
Captain's Chair Barbershop.
From the golden oldie rotary dial phone to the old school chairs, it just feels like the 1950s in here. This venerable venue was originally known as Bob's Barbershop. That's Bob Bayless there on the right. He was the original owner, and in this vintage newspaper ad, it states that Bob's was Lincoln's popular shop for boys and men of distinction. Bob's Barbershop became the Captain's Chair in the 60s, and it got its name and nautical theme from former owner Jerry Amon, who served in the Navy.
We've been cutting military hair in here for a long, long time.
Gary Hahn is Jerry's son-in-law, and he's been cutting hair at the Captain's Chair for the past 22 years.
Being in downtown Lincoln and get to watch it transpire into what it is today has been absolutely one of the joys in my life.
Gary says very few true barbershop experiences remain in Lincoln.
A lot of places are unisex shops. Guys and girls go in, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there's just a few just guy places left.
Back in the day, there used to be a lot of choices for men in the capital city.
I heard stories from my father-in-law that there used to be 12 men-only barbershops downtown Lincoln back in the 60s. Well, then the Beatles hit, and that all changed.
Well, the Beatles broke up, but the Captain's Chair continues to keep welcoming aboard new sailors and civilians.
We've taken all walks of life for a long period of time.
Yeah, we get along pretty good.
Ryan Amon is the son of former owner Jerry Amon.
I enjoy it. I love being part of it. Being around for 65 years.
And believe it or not, Ryan says there are still 2 original customers that come in for haircuts.
I don't remember what it was called, but they worked over here at Buffalo Wild Wings back in '53.
The originals proudly proclaim their longevity.
Well, one of the guys, he says, I've retired every barber out of here.
That's another thing you learn over time is what's said in the barbershop stays in the barbershop. I think Vegas stole that from us, but...
Gary says former Nebraska Governor Frank Morrison used to live in a condo above the Captain's Chair in the Stuart building, and when he was getting his haircut, he would talk about wanting to eventually clean up P Street. Well, I'll bet the governor would be very impressed today, as the P Street district is a new source of pride in downtown Lincoln. And Bridget, I remember when my brother was going to school at UNL, he was in the Navy ROTC program, and he said there was no place like the Captain's Chair for a good military cut. I think it's pretty safe to say nobody does a high and tight better than the Captain's Chair.
Well, and considering they've been around for 6 decades, I'd probably have to say that's an accurate statement.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Lance. Well, still